has anyone ever achieved any significant greatness in their life only doing things when they're in the mood?
People love to overcomplicate things. The amount of overwhelm that people put on themselves to start, it being so much that they don't end up starting.
Because they don't have a clear why. They don't have a strong reason enough to move when they don't feel like moving.
A big way that people can support themselves and actually overcoming this is becoming a lot more prepared.
You keep putting things off, guys, but now is the time to take action. Procrastination kills progress.
What's that one task that you've been putting off for the longest? That business idea, that difficult conversation, maybe that just chore that you've just been pushing all the way down your to-do list. Now is the time to act and start getting busy. Welcome back to yet another fine episode and a wonderful day of Unplug Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 37, man. Woo!
Who is this for?
This is for the unbelievers that never thought I could do it. No, I'm joking. Guys, this is for the guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen who are trying to unplug from societal norms, and live life on their own terms.
We are for the entrepreneurs. We are for the dreamers.
Tell them again.
We are for the believers.
Say it in the back.
If you've had enough of how your life is, you're stuck, frustrated, annoyed, and want to make some progress, click that subscribe button.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
In life, we avoid things that really matter. And what that does, it causes stress. You know, we end up creating these long to-do lists that just build and build and build, and we end up getting nothing done. We need to move from a place where we only do things when we're in the mood, because if you wait to be in the mood all the time, you will never make progress.
100%. And I actually just sort of understanding and identifying this, what would you say are the sort of like the top 4 reasons why people always love to procrastinate?
People procrastinate, I think, a lot of the time is because they don't have a clear why. They don't have a strong reason enough to move when they don't feel like moving. An example of that is, for me, I'm trying to stay fit. I'm trying to stay healthy. The best time for me to go to the gym is early in the morning. So it forces me to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning. Now, my why is staying fit and healthy. I'm getting older. Like, my limbs are getting tight. Like, I go to yoga. Like, my why is strong, bro. So even when I don't feel like doing it, I do it anyway because I remember why I said I was going to do it.
No, I'm completely with you. I think another reason as to why a lot of people procrastinate, and I think it's because the fear of rejection, right? And I feel a big way that people can support themselves and actually overcoming this is becoming a lot more prepared. Right? When you're a lot more prepared, when you're a lot more well-researched on the specific task or activity or whatever it is you want to do, it feels a lot less scary. If you know how deep the pool is, you can actually sort of manage and sort of take that dive, right? But when you're not as informed in terms of what you want to do, of course it's going to be scary. Of course it's going to be scary. Like, humans naturally, like, we struggle with change, the fear of the unknown, not knowing what's up, right? And that can be very, very difficult for us. So I think, like, cluing up yourself and doing a bit more research to whatever it is that you want to do will massively help you with that sort of like fear of failure.
And I just want to add, I feel like, you know, generally speaking, you know, people are not lazy. They just don't have the right systems, or they don't have the right story, or they haven't identified a strong enough why that makes them turn off the Netflix and go upstairs and read a book, or, you know, turn off the Netflix and go and hit the gym because you want to lose, you know, some pounds, or go on your 10,000 steps. The why is not strong enough.
100%. And I feel like just one more for me is like, people love to overcomplicate things. The amount of overwhelm that people put on themselves to start, it being so much that they don't end up starting. Like, we always say, like, sometimes we feel like we're just too smart for our own doing, right? I feel like naturally, like, a lot of things, businesses, like the most like amazing things that we have on this earth are so simple. Like I said, I always say a lot of the time, like, Uber have no cars, Airbnb have no properties, like Deliveroo have like no like isolated like physical restaurants. Simple businesses, right? Simple stuff. And the reason why they're able to be where they are now is because they just simply started. Stop fixating on things that don't move the needle. Stop fixating on your business name and on your logo and your color palette and your branding. What is the problem you're going to solve so you can get paid?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that moves the needle.
You need to focus on.
Right? So I feel like people like to focus on a lot of noise and a lot of overwhelm. Like obviously me and John, we support a lot of people in getting started in property, right? And I know you might have it as well a lot on your side, but I get loads when people saying like, I want to get started in Airbnb, but I just don't know where to start. Have you thought about making an Airbnb account? It's free to actually know what the interface looks like. Have you thought about a location that you want to start? How about down the road in your local city center, right? So like, again, just like overwhelming yourself and overcomplicating yourself massively helps with, or massively contributes towards procrastination.
So I'm going to bring some rawness and some authenticity to the subject of matter. In your life, can you now just share with us a time where you avoided certain things or you didn't do certain things because you just didn't feel like doing it? And then you got to a point where you just actioned, you just implemented, you executed. Like, can you just let us know what that looked like for you?
I'd probably say, again, a lot of our listeners are like work 9 to 5s, and as you know, obviously we both work 9 to 5s. And I know a big thing for me, I started off as an apprentice, right? So like super junior, like fresh faced 18-year-old working in the city. And I've been working my position for like a year, maybe 18 months, probably like going to like 18 months now. So like well into my position, like doing way above and beyond what I should be doing. And I thought like, yeah, I think I should either get a pay raise or like a new, more like senior title, right? Like I definitely know like what the work I'm doing versus what everyone else in my industry is doing. Like, they're well more remunerated. But I feel like, I don't want to be like, come across greedy. I've got this massive opportunity, this big firm, this big company. I'm 18 years old. Like, who am I to like ask for a pay grade, right? It's not like I'm making you guys hundreds of thousands of pounds, right? And you only pay me tens or barely, right? I was literally on like 20 grand, right? Like peanuts, right? So again, that massively like thwarted me from not applying to the position. And it meant like I was just pretty much in that same position for about like 2.5 years before there was any movement. And where my peers in the same space doing what I'm doing were like literally leveling up every 12 months, every 14 months, every year and a half, jumping to the next level. And the big sort of kick up the bum from me is when, again, like someone came brand new into the company, hit all their targets, 6 months they were promoted. Did it again, another 6 months they were promoted, and I'm like flipping up, right? I feel like that for me is like, okay, the big kick up the bum is like, okay, cool, I need to start doing things. And just that fear of rejection as well that I just spoke about earlier. And then again, like, what's the worst that can happen?
We would say you're not going to die.
Not going to die, right? So that was, again, I did think I was going to die. So that's probably why I didn't do it. So, but yeah, that's me. What about you, bro?
What can I say? I think, again, I've learned obviously a lot of lessons prior to this business, but I feel like a lot of life-changing lessons have come, running my business. And I think one of the biggest ones is that if you want to make progress, you have to be consistent, right? You have to do things pretty much every day. Like we said, business is not sexy. And a lot of the time, especially with the life I live, I'm not going to be in the mood to do certain things. Like, I've got kids, there's a lot going on. And I feel like if I just rely on myself being in the mood to do stuff will never get done. It will never get done. Like, how many hours in a day are you really in the mood to get down and grind? Not many. So yeah, this business is kind of, I think my biggest lesson from this business is that if I want to make immense progress, I have to be working consistently every day, even when I don't want to, because yeah, like that's the only way you make real progress, not by just doing stuff when you want to do it. Like whenever anyone ever achieves any significant greatness in their life, only doing things when they're in the mood, like not at all. And I always say, like, I always look at like an athlete, like athlete training for the Olympics or a boxer. Like, do you think they want to go on them runs? Do you think they want to
get beat up?
Like, do you think they want to do all the stuff that it takes to become an elite fighter or athlete? 99% they don't want to, but they know it's a part of the process. It's a part of their journey. They have a big why, and their why just, I don't feel like getting up at 5 o'clock, but I'm going to get up anyway because my why is strong enough. I don't feel like spending 5 hours in front of my computer looking for property, but I know my business needs me to do that. It's realizing that the why is what kind of, pushes you.
100%. No, I'm with you. Oh, as you guys know, we're all about some practical steps, right? And we kind of alluded softly into some, but JP, give the people some practical steps that they can do to kind of get out of this rut.
Yeah, I think for me, when I started putting things in my calendar, it's almost like I owned the task. It was like, once it's in there, it means I'm doing it. I've added it to my routine. I've added it to my schedule. I know at X, Y, Z, I'm doing this. X time, I'm doing that. And it just made it more real. It made it more time bound. It's there. Alarm clock goes off. I know I should be doing this. There's no excuse. And if I don't do what I put in my calendar, I'm now just being lazy. I'm letting myself down. And then, if I don't get to where I want to get to, I've only got myself to blame. It gave me ownership. It gave me ownership.
To be accountable.
Yeah, by putting it and seeing it. You know, that's what kind of helped me.
No, I'm with you. I think one thing for me, and I can personally massively relate to this, also like giving yourself a break. Sometimes you're just mentally exhausted and your brain can't compute any more greatness. And I think you mentioned this a lot, but it's like just going for a walk, like positively distracting yourself. Spend some time with your family, going to the gym, like whether it may be like I think, you know, DK says it well, Dan Coe. He says like a lot of like your genius and your moments of greatness are when your brain is in the subconscious working as opposed to it actively working. So a lot of those kind of like shower moments, or you're driving, or you're having a walk, or you're having a conversation sparks off the back of another conversation. A lot of the times not when you're actively thinking, how do I actually build this empire? How do I actually start this business? So take breaks, like they're very, very healthy for your brain, for it to do what it needs to do in the background, and you can actually now start being a lot more productive as opposed to being deconstructive.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw in one last one there. I feel like either get a coach/mentor or get an accountability partner.
100%.
So because an accountability partner
Just keep you right.
Yeah, it will keep you right. Whenever you're veering off, they'll be the one to kind of pull you back on. And also, I know you said it before, sometimes when you say something to someone, it's almost like you're forcing yourself to have to do it. Because if you go back next week, bro, and you ain't done what you told me you was going to do,
like what?
I'm going to think, you're not serious, bro.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? And that will affect you. You don't want to be seen as by someone you respect as someone who's not serious, bro. Someone who just talks. So
literally.
I just find like that mentor/coach, accountability partner, like will just keep you unstuck. They will keep you focused.
100%.
You know?
That's solid.
So, guys, Plug Bites, this is the part of the episode where myself and Freeman talk about something that's inspired us.
Let's go.
Something that's motivated us.
Let's do it.
So I will go first. So I've got here, procrastination steals more dreams than failure ever will. Now, my thing is, you know, we've all got goals. We've all got dreams. Hopefully, if you ain't got any goals or ain't got any dreams, go and watch episode 2. Literally. And the importance of setting goals and dreams.
Literally.
But the biggest thing, guys, is that when we procrastinate and we stop doing the things that we need to do, that's what's going to be the reason why we don't make the progress. That's going to be the reason why we don't elevate. That's going to be the reason why we don't achieve the things that we are more than capable of achieving, because we just didn't do what we know we needed to do. And you can't progress if you're someone who procrastinates all the time. You're never going to make progress. So you need to stop that kind of mental trait. Ask it, where's that come from? And really try and get rid of it, because nothing great will happen if you're somebody who just talks and never does.
100%. And sort of adding to that, I think mine sort of blends in well. And JB sort of alluded to it earlier in the ep. Mine says, you don't have to want to do it. You just have to do it anyway. And I think we even spoke a couple nights ago, right, in terms of saying that JP also always says is forcing your mind to do the things your body doesn't want to do, right? And again, similarly into that business, asking for that promotion, sparking up that difficult conversation or doing that activity or task that needs to be done, you need to force your mind to do the things that your body simply doesn't want to do. Waking up early, spending half an hour earlier before you go to work to quickly jot down what you need to do for your to-do list, going to the gym, healthy eating, just like forcing yourself to do the things that are uncomfortable. Because nothing, as we say, it's always been said, nothing good ever comes easy, right? So that's like a blanket thing that we know, like just logically speaking. So that's just something we need to deal with, right? And I feel like just sort of having that in the back of your mind that you just have to consistently do it anyway, it's going to massively help you to actually start tick boxing a lot of your to-do lists and your exercises, as opposed to just procrastinating and not doing anything.
No, I agree. No, I like that, man. Thank you. Cool, guys. So if you liked this episode, please don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to comment. But more importantly, we are on the road to 500 subscribers, so don't forget to subscribe.
We're going to do something big for that one as well, guys. Yeah?
100.
So, guys, please, as John said, please always make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing, and make sure you always tell a friend, tell your mum, tell your dad, tell his mistress.
Jeez.
Please. And as always, guys, love, love, love.
Elevate.